Oh my goodness, wrestling news never stops. Oh my god, so much news. Welcome to the WrestleTalk news, this breaking news edition, because as of next week's episode of Raw, it's going back to TV-14. No longer is it going to be PG. That's the news right now. Hot damn. This comes from Andrew Zarian, who has a pretty good track record. He does the Mat Men podcast, who just tweeted out to say, starting July 18th, WWE Raw will have a TV-14 rating, and moving forward on USA Network, the PG era is over. Now, I just want to talk about this for a second because, one, this is nuts. Because for a long time, there's a certain section of WWE fans who are adamant that the reason that the WWE product isn't as good as it once was is because it's now PG, and it used to be TV-14, because the Attitude Era was TV-14, and that was the most popular era of wrestling. Therefore, if WWE just moved their product back to TV-14, then it will be great again, right? I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. But according to some people, this is going to be the cure. This is a thing that WWE has needed for years and years and years. And now it's actually happening. So I hope that those fans, at the very least, are very, very happy with this news. Because the PG era began almost to the day, actually, when this is going to revert back. Because it started on July 22nd, 2008. So nearly 14 years to the day where it became a PG-rated product. And that was deemed like the death of WWE at the time by a lot of, cataclysmatizing. That's not a word. Catastrophizing WWE fans, thinking that this was the death of the product because it's now no longer TV-14. Obviously, AEW currently runs a TV-14 product with their AEW shows, which allows them to get away with certain more words, and then they can use blood a bit more freely and things like that. So yeah, I'm curious to see how people's reaction to this is going to be. There's also currently no word on whether SmackDown is going to stay as a PG product or whether that will also move to TV-14 in time. We don't know yet, but it might be a little bit strange for WWE to have one TV-14 rated product and one PG one. It just might feel like a weird thing to have. You have your TV-14 product and you have your PG one, and maybe that's a good way to actually differentiate the shows. Maybe that could be a thing. But for those of you who are expecting there to, now be bloodbaths every week, I don't know if that's what's going to happen, because there was a quote from last year where Vince McMahon, was it last year? Maybe the year before. I don't know. Saying where Vince McMahon was saying that he wanted to move away from the PG product. He wanted the product to be more edgy, which didn't really happen. We had that weird period where we had like the third hour of Raw was going to be the dark hour, where you had your Corey Graves' electric chair. Ooh, it's spooky and edgy and scary, but that never really panned out to anything. And maybe they're going to be a more violent product now. We don't know. I don't think this is going to be the Attitude Era coming back, because I think there were other factors at play as to why the Attitude Era was such a popular mainstream thing at the time. But at the very least, I hope this makes a lot of people happy. So technically, that means that the last match that ever took place in the PG era of WWE on Raw, this is, of course, because the PG era probably will continue on SmackDown, as we know right now, because there's been no info on it. The last match is Seth Rollins, in theory, against Bobby Lashley and Riddle, which I think makes sense. Sorry, Seth freaking Rollins. What if he changes his name now to Seth friggin' Rollins? Oh, it's much more edgy. That'll work, right? And then, yeah, Lashley, Riddle, in theory. Just a little tidbit. That's a fun Quizzlemania question right there. Keep that in your mind for the future. So yeah, I think this is a really interesting move by WWE, because they were saying, they've moved away from the blood and guts, the gore and all that stuff that, they called out AEW for and all that stuff. So I don't think this is a move to actually just get that again. I feel like this might just be a reason for them to have more sex on their product. I don't know. With the way that like NXT 2.0 has been going, they wanted more sexy stuff. Athena, the former Ember Moon, has called out WWE after she left for being like, they forced me to dress more sexy, or they told me to be more sexy, and I don't want to do that. With that direction and how NXT 2.0 has been packaged and promoted, maybe that's more of the influence of what we're going to be seeing on Raw now. I don't know. But I hope people are excited for it, because I am, at the very least, curious as to what they're going to say and what they're going to do now. This has at least made me slightly interested to watch Raw going forward, because I'm curious how this rating is actually going to impact the show. Or will it just be mostly the same, with just the odd, they might have a swear word every so often. I know, it would be crazy if they did. So yeah, I think this is probably a good move. I'm very surprised that this happened, though, because PG product is much more marketable for families and children and things like that, and that was the target audience of WWE for a long time. Like, if they're going to market things to children or to families, that's marketing to more people than just marketing to adults, which is what TV-14 generally skews towards. Is kind of like that late teens, early 20s audience. Maybe, marketing to a younger audience, meaning that if you're marketing to the children, the parents then also have to buy tickets to shows. That normally, buying more colorful merch and stuff like that the kids really want, that's more money invested into the company. It's a bigger market. But maybe they've seen that hasn't necessarily been working out for them, although I feel like it has. They've been recording record revenues, record profits, all that stuff. So I don't know what has brought this on at all. I don't know what Vince and Co are thinking with this move. I don't know why they have suddenly pulled the trigger on this move now. But like I said, I'm super curious, because I don't know what audience they're trying to grab now. Maybe they're trying to galvanize some of those lost fans that just wanted the TV-14. Where's the blood? I want it back. Maybe they're trying to galvanize that audience. Or maybe they're trying to, I don't know, directly target that 18 to 49 demographic rather than kind of skewing younger. They're going to skew older to maybe try and capitalize on some of that demo, which is better for advertisers, all that sort of thing. I have no idea. What do you guys think of this move? I'm really, really curious to see what the comments are going to say about this, because I've seen a few snarky comments on Twitter, which I kind of agree with. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. If you guys are legitimately excited about this change, do you think it's just a superficial, nothing will really change, it's just going to be whatever? Do you think this is the thing? This is the injection, the lifeblood that WWE needs to get back to its glory days? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't yet, like and subscribe. We do daily wrestling news videos, as well as obviously these breaking ones, I guess. So yeah, like, subscribe if you haven't, enable notifications. We upload daily wrestling news videos. I have been Chopper Pete Quinnell. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in another news video soon. Jam that jam.